Okay, friends of Africa 21, good evening. Bonsoir, amis d'Africa 21. We are here at the African Pavilion for this first day of the COP27 in Africa, in Egypt. Donc, nous sommes très heureux de vous avoir avec nous pour cette première des retransmissions d'Africa 21 depuis le pavillon Afrique pour cette COP africaine, cette COP en Égypte. So I have the pleasure to have with me Summer, who is an environmental journalist from Egypt, and Maclay, who is representing, who is from a party. We don't, but so they will share with us their feelings, what they have seen, their sessions you have attended, and your first feelings from this first day. So we start with you, Summer.
Okay. Hi, this is Summer Samir. I'm an Egyptian environmental journalist. It's the first time for me to attend the COP, maybe because my country is hosting this event. But actually, my impression about the session today, it's a good one. It's a good initiative. It's the first time for me to hear about action. But when I sit here, I come and listen to the speakers and talking how the climate change is affecting the marine life and affecting the people who are depending in their income on the oceans. When it comes to the ocean protection, they should protect their oceans for their to continue their lives and to continue the generations to come. It's very quite important. So it's the first time for me to know figures when it comes to figures about how the people in bad acts affect their oceans. So we have to take action to implement what the other people also to implement what other people promise to do. Which also come to finance, and also in order to make other people who are accessible to their resources or the source of their life, of their income, and their to continue their lives. That's it. Sorry for
no, if I can react on that, Samuel.
Yeah.
But I will do it in French. C'est très important parce que Samuel partage avec nous l'importance de la COP en Égypte, parce que ça permet tout de suite de sensibiliser beaucoup plus les gens sur, on a parlé de figures, avoir des chiffres précis, des éléments précis pour pouvoir justement agir. So, from figures to action, and this is very important to have. This is very important to see how journalists now in Egypt will have access to more some elements, and they will start then after the COP to do your homework, to work, to build on that. C'est très important parce que maintenant, la suite, c'est que les journalistes vont construire en fonction de leur centre d'intérêt, ceux qui veulent approfondir, what you are, we go deep in some things, approfondir des sujets specific issues, des sujets spécifiques.
Like to promote our networking when it comes to environmental reporters and environmental community. To protect our life, our planet. Exactly.
Donc, très important d'agir en réseau, de renforcer les réseaux, le network, la communauté des journalistes, des gens des médias qui travaillent sur les questions environnementales. Et ça permet vraiment d'aider les autres acteurs, parce que les acteurs, en lisant, when people will read or listen what you are saying, they will find the right information to act on it. That's very important. Maclay, also for this first day, your impressions, your feeling.
Bonjour tout le monde. Je m'appelle Maclay. I am a climate technocrat, I would like to call myself. First of all, I'm very happy to be here in Egypt. This is the fourth COP that we have had on the African continent. And I would like to first of all commend our host, the Arab Republic of Egypt, for putting up the best show, better than even the COP that we have attended in other parts of the world. They've really gone all out to showcase what Egypt can do to the rest of the world, and they've also given this an African flair, African issues are really being heard. And for the first time, we're seeing Africans coming together, and especially the youth. And also issues ranging from the rest of the island states to the landlocked developing countries, to the poor countries, to the richer countries. And we are hoping that we are going to see a lot more progress. This COP is really not about making new decisions, because there are a lot of decisions that have been made in the past. And the COP president has said this is about acting on the promises that were made and on the commitments that were made. And it is also heartening to note that the Africans have presented the most ambitious NDCs, more ambitious than the NDCs other regions. So going forward, we are hopeful that we are going to see the developed countries meeting up their commitment to live up to the $100 billion per year, so that Africans are able to implement their NDC. And with regard to the facilities, they are really world-class. They are the best that we have seen. And say thank you to our host, Egypt, once again.
Thank you, Matlé. Merci beaucoup pour ces messages. Et c'est un des premiers sentiments qu'on a ici, c'est vraiment quand on voit l'organisation par l'Égypte de cette COP à un niveau vraiment très élevé. Ça, tous les Africains ressentent de la fierté. We are proud of how this is organized, and we demonstrate that we can inspire the others. So this is very important. So now, l'idée est vraiment, et c'est ce que disait Matlé, l'idée c'est que déjà on va s'assurer de ce qui a été promis, les engagements qui ont été faits lors des précédentes COP soient vraiment mis en œuvre. Et justement, cette inspiration qui se crée là en Égypte, à Sharm el-Sheikh, va nous permettre, en tant qu'Africains, de vraiment nous assurer que les choses soient mises en œuvre et en même temps d'alimenter l'ambition. Batley a parlé de l'ambition des NDCs des pays africains. Les pays africains sont très conscients. C'est le continent qui est le plus touché par le changement climatique. La pollution a contribué très peu. Le continent, les pays du continent ont contribué très peu à la pollution qui a entraîné ce changement climatique. Mais les effets du changement climatique sont ressentis avant tout sur le continent. This is the continent that is the most affected by the climate change. So we need to be ambitious. And we need to be inspired on the way this COP is organized, is really inspiring us, is making us very proud of our continent. So thanks to Egypt for this excellent organization. Et for this inspiration, pour cette inspiration, vraiment, nous allons, dans les jours qui viennent, we will discuss many issues. On va parler de beaucoup de sujets. This afternoon, on a parlé de Great Blue Wall, de la Grande Muraille Bleue, qui est une initiative africaine faite par des Africains pour vraiment régénérer les océans autour du continent, autour de l'Afrique, avec un pilote au niveau de la côte Est sur l'océan Indien occidental, West Indian Ocean. Et l'idée est vraiment de proposer des cadres régionaux qui amènent les gens qui agissent déjà ensemble et agrégés afin qu'on ait un impact sur le climat. This is about aggregation of what is already happening across the continent, but to give them the proper framework at the regional level to really support them and to speed up the process because people are working, are acting. The climate actions are already there, but we need to speed up the process and to scale it up at a higher level. Il faut vraiment accélérer et augmenter l'impact pour vraiment faciliter l'accès à la finance climatique pour pouvoir justement soutenir les acteurs africains, les communautés côtières, coastal communities, qui agissent, already acting on that. So, encore une fois, les journalistes, le rôle des journalistes is crucial, très important pour pouvoir faire passer les messages, to communicate the right figures, donner les éléments précis qui vont permettre à ces acteurs d'agir.
Yeah, yeah. Journalists, sorry, interruption, but journalists are one of the influencers when it comes to the influential people. Yes, journalists are one of the influential people, and our messages. We have our job to deliver people's messages, especially when it comes to climate change impacts to the people on people's lives. So that's our own message as environmental journalists. Right?
And I think social media is coming to the aid of climate change, especially in Africa, where we have leapfrogged. We've got a very high level of internet penetration, and people are doing a lot with their cell phones. Everybody all over, they are making stories and sharing this. So this message is to get through to everybody that Africa is woken up. Africa is not waiting for others to come. Africa is doing what it can with the resources that it has. But of course, more resources are needed, and the more resources Africa can access from the rest of the world, we'll be able to do a lot more. But we're going to do as much as we can with what we have. And especially the youths, I'm very encouraged by the excitement and the involvement of the youth. They want to be part of the process. They want to get into the meetings. They want to interact with the decision makers. They also want to be heard. And Egypt has given us that opportunity. We had a lot of youths that were participating, that made statements even at the very high level where the head of state were presenting. We had youths from Africa that were lined up to talk to the rest of the world. So we are really, really very happy with the way Egypt is organized this year.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me because I'm Egyptian.
One question for you, McLean,
Yes.
about the adaptation finance, which they promised to double last year, and also the 100 billion, which was promised many years ago. How did that start? How is the
Well, this is still yet to be discussed, but given what we are seeing happening at the top, I think it is going to convince those that were still holding money in their purse that I think their money is better put to good use in Africa, because Africa has really made strides with the little resources that it has. And it is very clear that if they get a lot more resources, much more will happen. And if Africa is more stable, it is better for the rest of the world. And if Africa, because remember, when climate change hits, people are going to be displaced. So we might as well build that resilience in Africa, make people more aware and enable them to continue with their lives in Africa irrespective of climate change. So with regard to adaptation, yes, adaptation remains a top priority for Africa, and they're going to adapt whether they receive resources from outside or not, because it is about our lives. We have to continue living. So, but we are hopeful that in our discussions, the resources are going to be made available.
Ah oui, j'ai une autre question de Fulbert qui parle effectivement justement du fait qu'on a une première déception au sujet de l'ordre du jour qui n'a pas reconnu que dans l'ordre du jour, je crois que c'est le point 18 proposé à l'ordre du jour, qui reconnaissait l'Afrique avec des besoins spécifiques, un continent ayant des besoins spécifiques. Effectivement, cela a été repoussé à la prochaine COP. Donc, c'est une première déception, il faut la reconnaître. Mais nous, à notre niveau, nous continuons à nous battre, mais surtout, et c'est très important, à démontrer pourquoi l'Afrique a des besoins spécifiques qui concernent tout le monde, qui ne concernent pas que les Africains, qui ont un impact sur le reste du monde. On parlera des peatlands, en français, les tourbières du bassin du Congo, qui sont en Afrique, certes, qui correspondent à une demande africaine, mais dont l'impact est mondial. Et effectivement, c'est le rôle des scientifiques, mais également des journalistes, de vraiment travailler sur et de communiquer les éléments quantitatifs pour démontrer que ces besoins ne sont pas juste des besoins affichés pour recevoir un soutien financier, mais ils correspondent à des défis qui ne concernent pas que l'Afrique, mais qui se passent en Afrique. Donc l'Afrique a des besoins spécifiques, nous devons encore le démontrer. Oui, cette déception, ça n'a pas été mis à l'ordre du jour finalement de cette COP, mais nous allons tout faire pour que ça soit à la suite. Mais d'ores et déjà, nous allons travailler pour mieux défendre ces intérêts-là. En tout cas, amis d'Africa 21, merci beaucoup. On est très heureux de cette première. Et encore une fois, Sam Maclay, thank you very much for being here. It's the first one here. And we will El-Sheikh لمصر لحسن التنظيم beyond that for the hospitality. Merci pour l'hospitalité égyptienne. Et nous vous reverrons demain à la même heure, autour de 20h. Merci encore, amis d'Africa 21, et restez connectés.
Thank you.
Merci.
Bye.
That was
Fantastic.
Hopefully,
Thank
I
you
did
very
well
much.
as well.
Yeah, no, thanks.